Hi there, Caroline. Sorry for the slightly slower than normal reply. We're working through a ton of essays at the moment, but I have now marked yours as urgent, so they should be prioritized going forward. Let's go. The bar chart shows the sales of black and brown leather shoes in 9 different countries in 2018. Okay, so capitalize that, and then we can rephrase this to make it a little bit more concise. Countries are France, UK, Germany, Ireland, Holland, Belgium, Poland, Hungary, and Italy. Good. In 5 countries, right, so this needs to be rephrased. We could go for the sale of brown leather shoes exceeds that of the black leather variety in 5 of the countries, comma. Okay, while in the other 4 countries, black leather is more popular, or black leather shoes are more popular. Okay, because we've got a bit of repetition here, and also, as you heard, this initial construction is not it's not the most natural way of saying it. Okay, now well done for observing and noting the lowest and the highest. Okay, so that's fantastic. I mean, well, we've got the lowest, which is good. We should always use the superlatives in our task 1. Okay, and also well done for grouping the information here. So it looks like we've got the right, we're choosing and selecting the right information. We just need to work on the structure, especially for the first one. The lowest amount of sales of brown leather shoes is in Belgium, while the black leather shoes, it is in France. Okay, while sales of black leather shoes are the lowest in France. Okay, so well done, good. In Germany, the sales of brown leather shoes are twice as high as in France. Good comparison. In Belgium, the amount of black shoe sales is significantly higher than the amount of brown leather shoes. Okay, significantly, what does that mean? Does it mean 3 times higher? 5 times higher? So it's a good opportunity here to put in some information. So in Belgium, the amount of black shoe sales is significantly higher than that of brown leather shoes, comma. Specifically 3 times higher at 412 or whatever it is. Okay, so also don't be afraid of putting in some numbers, especially when we can use a fancy sentence such as double that of, or 3 times higher than the previous year, or 5 times higher than the other countries combined. Okay, also put in specific figures. Okay, don't list every single figure, but just put in some specific figures, especially, as I just said, when we can use fancier statements like 3 times higher or double that of. Okay, the other way around is in France. Okay, in Belgium, the shoes. The opposite is true in France, with sales of black shoes at 200 and brown shoes 100, or whatever it is. Okay, so here would be a good opportunity to put in the figures. Overall, the highest number of sales of brown leather shoes is in Poland, while the highest number of black leather shoes is in Hungary. Beautiful, beautiful. Great little, I wouldn't have put that in a summary though. Okay, the summary should be sort of like an overall statement. So the biggest overall takeaway from that graph would be, overall, overall, all the countries have a clear preference for their shoe color. Okay, brown shoes are the most popular in Poland. Black shoes are most popular in Hungary, and then we might as well say, and the least amount of brown shoe sales is in X, and the least amount is in Y, for example. Okay, so big takeaways from here. Try and include the respectively sentence that's in your task 1 course. Definitely include more figures, and definitely work on your structure, your sentence structure. Okay, so this is expert. Okay. Experts throughout the developing and developed world have debated if traditional food which is replaced by fast food. Yeah. Okay. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated if replacing traditional food with fast food would have a negative impact on families, individuals, and the society. Okay, so I just had to rephrase that. Some believe that this replacement could have a negative impact. Personally, I strongly agree. Good. Okay, so I could include this sentence in an essay about global warming. Yeah, or I could include it about criminals. The reason is because it's got nothing specific tying it to the topic of fast food. Okay, even just by putting a little word like nutritional. Okay, some believe that this change in nutrition could have a negative impact. Personally, I strongly agree. Okay, this essay will argue about that topic. Okay, this essay will argue this position using examples from the World Food Organization, capitalization here for the F and the O, and Harvard University to demonstrate points and proof arguments. Beautiful. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that we should keep traditional food in our daily lives, with a V. The central reasons behind this. Okay, yeah, the central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, local food contains a balanced amount of proteins, vitamins, and other healthy ingredients. Hedging. So review hedging. We've got a module about this. It's like how to write like a native English speaker. Okay, it's near the end, and we should say something like, firstly, local food often contains a balanced amount, or most likely contains a balanced amount. Okay, and we're just hedging our statement. Secondly, we stay fit with these types of meals. Okay, we usually stay fit with these types of meals, and we have a good immunity. Okay, and they provide a good immunity, or they provide the nutrition for a good immunity, for a good immune system is better. For example, an article by the World Food Organization. So here's a tip. After you've mentioned it, put brackets WFO, and then the next time you mention it, you say an article by the WFO, comma, stated that eating an apple every day can help us to improve our immunity. Okay, so just be careful. I mean, we're talking usually about traditional foods. Okay, traditional foods might be fish and chips in the UK being replaced by hamburgers, or it could be Indian curries, yeah, being replaced by I don't know, milkshakes and hamburgers, McDonald's, or pizzas, for example. Okay, so a traditional food would not be an apple. It's very unlikely. I mean, we could argue that it is in certain countries like Hungary where they eat a lot of apples, but we didn't put any context in there. So we'd need to use a different example. Yeah. For example, an article by the WFO stated that eating traditional foods unique to a region, such as, such as paella or paella, for Spaniards, helped to improve their immunity considerably. Okay, I mentioned paella. It's typical of Spain. I could easily argue it's the traditional food. Okay, and now I've got a much stronger argument. And also we want to be saying immune system, not immunity. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that without eating healthy food, we will not be able to live without diseases. Okay, so I would have, so in the example, I would have talked about Spain, paella, okay, and then I would have just really emphasized it and just saying something like, whereas Spaniards who regularly consume fast food were 3 times more likely to get infectious disease such as COVID, flu, or a common cold. Okay, therefore, and now this makes much more sense. Therefore, it's conclusively clear that Also, we've got two negatives. It's much easier to understand if we just take out the negatives. Therefore, it's conclusively clear that eating healthy foods is a superior defense and a strong reason to avoid fast food, for example. Okay? On the other hand, junk food is indicated as the favorite food of the society. However, because we've just mentioned it, we can say, however, this food is often very unhealthy and can cause disease. So again, hedging. Nutritionists recommend to avoid eating unhealthy food. So again, we've got this fight with like negative constructions and negative verbs. Okay. Oops. This is it. Avoid eating unhealthy food. So what do we really want to say? Nutritionists recommend eating healthy food. Okay. Avoid eating unhealthy food. Nutritionists recommend to avoid eating unhealthy food. Right. This is largely because of the high proportion of carbs and additives. Carbohydrates. Carbs is more like spoken English. Especially additives can have, or even better, these additives can have a negative impact on the life expectancy. Good phrase there. For example, a recent study by Harvard University showed that over 90% who ate the whole... Okay, so again, a similar problem with sentence construction. Go for subject, verb, object. Okay? Or even better, Caroline, find a lot of these sample sentences, for example, and you can literally just write them out, look for Band 9 sample essays or sample essays Ielts podcast. You'll find I use these sentences a lot, and you can master them. And it's like one sentence that you can confidently use in your task 2 essay and get it grammatically perfect every time. Okay, so for example, a recent study by Harvard University showed that over 90% of those who had a fast food diet died 10 years earlier than people who had a healthy diet. Beautiful. Thus, it is possible to state without doubt, beautiful, that fast food causes a shorter life and has a negative impact on humans. Beautiful. Very, very good way to close that paragraph. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that our priority should be to have a healthy diet. For this reason, traditional food should be offered more than fast food. Good. It is predicted that the replacement will be stopped. Again, empty. Okay, that could be in an essay about crime, about education. It is predicted that the replacement. It is predicted. You're saying that there should be a replacement of traditional by fast food. The essay question talks about traditional food being replaced by fast food. So this sentence is ambiguous. Okay. You could say something like, unfortunately, it is predicted. However, unfortunately, it is predicted that fast food will continue to replace traditional food, or it is predicted that fast food will be hopefully replaced in the long term by traditional food. Okay, or something like it's predicted that the shift back to traditional food will gather pace and be implemented soon. Okay, so you know what to do now. Update your error correction list, make a list of all the errors, update that list, implement all the corrections that you've heard on this essay, and then write 2 new essays and send it all back to me. Okay, and as I said, we'll be prioritizing your essay. Hopefully you can do this on Saturday, and I'll be back correcting essays Monday morning. Okay.